Okay, day 2, it's time to get the engine pulled out of the Ariens. This is a very straightforward engine swap. Nothing needs to be cut, nothing needs to be rewired. Both engines use the 6-pin. I did upgrade this engine to the 6-pin. It had originally 2 separate plugs, but this setup is much nicer than the old setup. Obviously, the starter is the same. The 4 mounting bolts are the same. Crankshaft, crank bolt are all the same. Only difference is when it comes to the exhaust. I'm going to try and run the exhaust that's on the 21 horse in this chassis. I noticed I have 2 holes right here and right here. Those are in very similar spots to the older style exhaust. So if I can run the 2-piece exhaust from the other engine on this, good. If I can't, I'll pull this muffler and run this muffler on the 21 horse. I'd rather kind of keep this muffler with this engine so I don't have to undo these 2 bolts right here and right here and disrupt the exhaust gasket. Since everything is sealed good on this, if I can prevent taking anything apart, I'm definitely going to. Like I said, very straightforward job. Really, even with the other engine swap I did yesterday, pretty much anybody can do this job if they have a 9/16, a ½ inch, and I think a 3/4. I can't think of the other socket for the crankshaft bolt. But like I said, this is a very simple job. When you're not dealing with having to cut wires, it makes it so much easier. And with these modern engines, or upgrading an old engine to have the modern harness, makes your life so much easier. So anyways, that's where I'm at on this right now. I did mention before the other engine needs a new backfire prevention solenoid. I got one right there that would work, but I don't really want to take anything off of this engine since this is a running engine. I might even mount it into the engine test stand just so I can drain all the gas out of the bowl and run it one last time, just in case I do end up putting it into storage. I'll decide that at a later date. Also, one thing a lot of people do on these engine swaps, they disconnect the battery. There is no need to disconnect the battery. You can leave it connected. Only thing you have to do is your fuel, your throttle, your main power wire to the starter, and this is only energized when the key is turned to the start position, since you have a starter solenoid. If you have a wire straight from your battery, obviously it might not be a bad idea to disconnect your battery. Same with these wires here. These are only energized when the key is turned on. So there's no need to disconnect the battery when doing an engine on this style of machine that uses a separate starter solenoid. Starter solenoid's built into your starter, yeah, disconnect your battery. Underneath, simple crankshaft pulley. I'm going to try my best to leave the deck in place. I don't want to do any unnecessary work when doing this. I might have to remove that front support. If I don't, I'm not. If I do, I'll grab a ratchet strap, tie the deck up just to keep the weight off the back of the deck so it's not wanting to bend or break anything. So I'm going to get started, get this pulled out, get the replacement put in, and we should be good to go. I'm still waiting on a couple parts for the replacement engine, but hopefully they will be here in the next few days. So I'll talk from there. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.